Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Honda Resource. Today's episode, we're going to be installing this new JackSpania shifter into our EG coupe. So a little bit about our coupe. It is B20 swapped with a B16 trans. And today, like I said, we're going to be installing this JackSpania Racing shifter. So stay tuned and let's get to it. But one of the main things you're going to want to make sure that you have before installing the shifter is a good set of engine mounts. And mine are a little tired. So you can see there how the whole engine like slants over to the side. This one does have aftermarket engine mounts, but like I said, they're pretty tired. The bushing is pretty much non-existent on there. Over here, we do have a Hasport auto to manual conversion mount because this car was originally automatic. The Hasport mount still appears to be in good shape. So what we're going to be doing today is taking the rear mount and this driver mount and swapping them out for a set of mounts from JackSpania. Now he did send the 3 pieces for the transmission mount is not pictured, but we have the driver side mount and the rear mount. So we're gonna get these installed, replace that rear stock mount and that driver side mount that's absolutely trash because the bushing has collapsed in it, and then we'll be able to put our new shifter in. You do need a good quality set of mounts before you install that shifter, otherwise you'll be popping out of gear. Okay, so we went ahead and finished up the mounts. We did the rear one off camera. See there how the engine sits nice and level compared to how it was before, where it was sagging down real bad over here. Now we're ready to start installing the shifter. So first things first, if you have a stock shifter, you'll want to remove the knob. In this case, we have a K-tune shifter in here, so I'm going to take out this bolt that's right here in order to get this arm off so that we can pull the shifter through the floor. Like I said, this car was originally automatic. I'll probably go ahead and pull this console out too and just pop this up to usually Phillips head screws in here that like 10 millimeter thread, or M6 rather, 10 millimeter bolt head. And there's a couple screws right up here on each side of the cup holder. And then this piece should come out. Yeah, so you can see those are Phillips head. It's actually not the proper Phillips. It's actually a Japanese industrial screw, so a JIS, but Phillips head will work. And then took out these 2 little Phillips head bolts or screws right here on each side. So we'll snatch those 2 out and we'll be back. You see I already got the shifter off too. Like I was saying a minute ago, this car was originally automatic, so yours probably will not look like this because this is a plate covering up the original automatic shifter hole, or the shifter cable hole, and then it just, the shifter's just here. But let's go ahead and go switch over to the bottom side now and get the rest of the shifter out of here. All right, so here on the bottom side, we got to start by getting the shifter linkage out. So it's just 2 12 millimeter bolts right there. Now, this one may be a little tricky to get out just because it was originally automatic. It has those nuts on the top as opposed to just some threaded inserts in there. So we'll have to get those 2 12s out. And then also right here, we have to take this 12 millimeter bolt out. And then up under there, we have what's commonly referred to as the bitch pin. Right there. So it's pretty simple. This clip here, it just slides off. It just clips over that. And that's your little pin that most people refer to as the bitch pin. But I'll show you a trick. If you use a bolt like this, that was originally out of like the AC compressor, it's a M8 bolt, commonly referred to most Honda people as a 12 millimeter bolt because it has a 12 millimeter head. But see how it has a little point there on the end of it? It fits perfectly in there, just like that. And it's the correct diameter to fit through the hole. And all you have to do is hit it with a hammer. Hit the hammer a couple licks and it'll push that pin right through. I mean, literally 10 seconds and you're done. So in my case, I just have a 2-pound sledgehammer. Put the tip in there. We're done. There's the pin. And there's the bolt. Now look. Easy as that. All right, so you can see there I have the shift linkage out now. And it's actually laying over here on the ground. It's just this piece here. And so typically what you're gonna wanna do is take this part off right here. You'll just need this rod right here for this application. You don't need the stabilizer bar. So you won't be using that bar. But I already happen to have an extra one of these bars here. And so rather than disassemble this shifter, I'm going to use this piece. Because this is all we need. You just need the piece that goes to the transmission that actually shifts the gears. Okay, so this shifter does work on B series and D series, so like a stock Civic or a stock Integra. Really only difference between the shift linkages would be the B series shifter is wider, where the D series shifter is more narrow. So let's go ahead and get it bolted on to our linkage, and then we'll begin bolting this part into the car. Also, we're going to take out this Allen head right here. Just a little bitty bolt Allen head. You can see this piece slides out, and that's the only way they're going to be able to get this into the car. So this will go on our shift linkage. This piece will go inside the car. And like I said, we'll just slide the shift linkage up, and we'll put our bolt in here, and we're good to go. All right, so the spacers and the bolt that come with the shifter aren't quite wide enough for the B series. So what I did was just found a bolt over here in my bolt bin that matched the basically the width that it's supposed to be, kind of like the bolt that's in here. Okay, and then I put I used a locking nut that came with the kit, just because it has a nylon nut. You don't have to tighten it down quite as tight. I just made sure that it doesn't have any side to side play, and then it does lock it down. It is the correct thread pitch for the regular 12mm bolt. And all I did was put a couple washers on each side. See, it's just 2 washers on each side, and that made up the difference. It made it to where we're not smashing this linkage in on it. I suppose you could have smashed linkage in on it, but that's just not how I'm wanting to do it. So see, this works like this. You'll need to make sure that whenever this is up, that this is on the, it would be on like your, like if it goes in the car like this, so it'd be on the driver's side. That's the correct orientation for it. We got that back installed there. And I've just got it sitting up here on the exhaust, but you can see it sits right up under the shifter hole there. Now, let's get ready and move to the inside. Okay, so I got that bolt back in there now. I was able to do that pretty easily through this hole here without having to go underneath the car, since I'm here by myself. Okay, so now we have it bolted in, all 4 bolts, and we can test it out. So to go to first, what we'll have to do is push the knob on top, and then go to first. You go to second, and then when you go to third, it pops that pin back in and keeps it to where you can't go back to second. You can't money shift it. So you can't do a 2-3-2. So here we're third and fourth, right? And then as of right now, you have to push this to go over to fifth. And you could just go straight to reverse too. So if you want to go reverse, okay. But I think what I'm going to do is take this screw here out and make it to where I don't have to do a button activation to go to 5 and reverse. I just want the button activation to be able to keep from going 2, 3, 2, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take this screw out, but leave this one over here in. All right, so here's the final view of the install from the lower. You can see I was able to put 2 of the washers here. I didn't get any washers on those just because of proximity to the transmission tunnel there, or the exhaust tunnel rather. That's pretty much everything on the bottom side there. Just 1 rod now instead of 2. And let's put some fresh gas in this thing because it's been sitting for quite a while. And then we'll go take it for a spin. All right, so let's go take this thing for a test drive and see how it does on the road. This thing is very hot because it does not have air conditioning currently. But we're gonna do the best we can. It still doesn't run the best either because it's been sitting up for a while, and the gas in it was bad. I did just put some fresh gas in it, so it Seems to be running better, but it's still not to where it needs to be. Shee, buddy. It feels good for a V20 car, but for what this car is, it does perform pretty well. And it drives really smooth. It's sitting on function informed coilovers, and you know, those are real OG right there. Like I said, this swap on this car was done like 10 years ago, so it's yeah, it's a lot of everything on this car is that dated, with the exception of the wheels and now the shifter, because you know, I put the wheels on it and the shifter, we just did it. I do plan to eventually convert this car to all-wheel drive. I have a B series all-wheel drive transmission that came out of my CR Yeeter, and you know, with it already being B20 and stuff, I feel like it'd be a, you know, pretty straightforward swap. So really the only downfall I see to it right now is that I just don't have something around this hole down here to prevent heat from coming through. That's definitely something that's possible. You just have to take that bolt out right there, drop that down, and you can put a boot under it or whatever, put it around it. It doesn't have a lot of motion back to, you know, side to side, front to back. So whatever you put in there, you know, it doesn't have to have a huge hole to be able to function and form properly. So I appreciate everybody stopping by, checking out today's video. Thanks again to our sponsor, JackSpania Racing, for sending over the shifter and the new engine mounts. It's going to help greatly with this car. Can't wait to start driving it a little more and actually putting this thing to some use. But today, just a little bit I drove it, it felt great. My most favorite feature about it is the lockout. It's so cool to be able to just push a button on top, put it in first, second, and then go to third, and it pops it out automatically. You can't go back to second without pushing a button. Keeps you from going to 232 and ruining your engine or whatever, you know, over revving. So if you're a racer, it's a great feature to have on your race car. You can pick up your shifter today over at JackSpania Racing. Make sure you check out the link in the description over to JackSpania's website. He has all kinds of stuff in there for the Honda community, and with the discount code linked in the description, and that'll let him know that you came there from here. Thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.